now?
Whenever you're ready.
Okay. Whenever we have an athlete, someone who we really admire, someone who is great, and we catch them, so some news story goes out and says that they've been using performance-enhancing drugs, we become ashamed because we love the sport. And we think it's just so wrong. It's the thing you hear the next day, someone comes to you and say, "Did you hear about him?" And you're like, "Yeah, I can't believe it." And that's times whenever we're in a relationship and we catch someone cheating or lying. I have a point. We catch someone cheating or lying. We never speak to them again in disgust. That type of dishonesty, that type of cheating, we can't handle it. We don't want to take it or accept it. So why do we take it from politicians? That's what my speech is about. Misinformation in politics. It's really just pushing false information for some type of advantage. And everyone does it, and nobody notices it, because people just believe the lies. I'll start off with this guy. I believe you said we can use videos? Yeah.
Just do your presentation, or wherever you...
Plus, you haven't got any sound. Okay, no sound. Well, I'll tell you what he says. He says that at the expense of the elderly, Obamacare, what Rosalina just talked about, at the expense of the elderly, took out $716 billion from Medicare to pay for Obamacare. $716 that was supposed to go to senior citizens who have earned it. However, that's not what happened. What really happened was it actually took that $716 billion from hospitals and insurance companies. The beneficiaries didn't lose any money at all. The senior citizens were fine. It was just a little slip. The fact is that $716 billion is going to come out over the next 10 years, and it's also going to pay for it once the cost cuts come in 2016. It's a little misinformation, but what happened is, at some point in this video, which I wish I could show you, there was a part where he said it was the coldest thing Obamacare has done. And in the entire audience, you could hear them just groaning, just, oh. It's true. But the thing is, it's a wrong fact, and it's not true. And it's not the only one he's ever gotten wrong. Fox News, the news station that is on his side, the Republican news station, because that's what he is, the Republican, a Republican, my bad, he said that it was the most lies in a single speech, like he was trying to set a record. Other lies include, was it a good idea to spend taxpayer monies from the stimulus on electric cars in Finland? That's not what really happened. What really happened was, the program was to help create the cars in Finland, but to build them in the United States. Another one that they said that President Obama doubled the debt in his first 6 years in office and collected, first 3 years in office, and collected more debt than any other president combined. That's not what happened. What happened was, it went from 6.3 trillion to 10.3 trillion. Most of it because of Bush. Another one was the presidency began with a perfect AAA rating that went down. That's not what happened. What happened was, the reason why the credit rating went down is because there was a standoff between Democrats and Republicans over the debt ceiling. Because the Democrats refused to cut the costs and the Republicans refused to raise spending. Just little missed facts to outrage and appeal to his party and basically make himself look better. He's not the only one that does this. Mitt Romney, the guy running for president, said that 47% of people are definitely always going to vote for Obama. He also said that 47% of people don't pay any income tax. There are these leeches on the government that are just sucking away from the taxpayer. Yet the thing is, he doesn't mention that 47%, the other 47% are not the same. There's a lot of people who don't pay income tax that are going to vote for Mitt Romney. Forgot the cards. He also said Obama will end Medicare as we know it. In this, when people ask him why do you think President Obama is going to end Medicare? By allowing it to go bankrupt in 15 years, that's not true. By funding $500 billion in Medicare cuts for today's seniors. That's not true. By ending Medicare by ending access to care for today's seniors, that is not true. That will never happen. Even if it does go bankrupt in 15 years, they will still pay for it. Even in a bad economic recession, Medicare will still stand. And the Republicans are not the only. Another thing he says, ending Obamacare will save $95 billion a year, and we have I believe it was a $17 trillion deficit. You've heard about that. But the thing, it would save $95 billion a year, except in the long run, it will actually add to the deficit. It's just another missed fact. Is the fact that the cost-cutting effects that come into effect in 2016 will actually pay for itself. And the Republicans are not the only ones who miss facts. The Democrats do it too. One big missing fact is Joe Biden. Joe Biden is the vice president. He's the white guy. He went with Obama in 2008. He ran for president in 2007, and he ultimately became Barack Obama's running mate. And he basically, in order to make the president look more appealing, so you'll vote for him in 2012, he also misses a few facts himself. One of the things he said is that now that we saved General Motors, because that's what a part of the stimulus was, General Motors is the largest company in the world again, which isn't true. Forbes and Fortune 500, which rate these companies, said that they're not even close. In sales, General Motors was 18th. Toyota and I forgot the other one. Oh, beat it. Excuse that. Another thing he says that Paul Ryan, the other guy we just saw, will eliminate Medicare in 10 years. But that won't really happen. But one of my favorite ones he said was, when he was running for president in 2007, in reference to George Bush, he said that the president was brain dead, which is not true. He wasn't that smart, but he wasn't brain dead. And even worse, and this is the worst one, but also the most powerful one, is that even the president, our president, who leads this country, also misses facts. You know, have you ever seen a political ad yet? You've probably seen them somewhere. TV, Hulu, you might have heard one on the radio. And at the beginning or the end, you hear something like, "My name is Barack Obama, and I approve this message." That's true. That is, whatever that ad is saying is basically what the president is saying. It's the ad is talking for him. So if the ad messes up, then it's like the president is messing up himself. And in one ad said that Mitt Romney would pass a law that would end abortion, no matter what, even in cases of rape, incest, or even if the woman is going to die. But that's not true. What Mitt Romney really said is that he is pro-life, but not in cases of incest, rape, woman's life. He also said that Mitt Romney wanted the Arizona law, what Jessica talked about, to be a model for the whole country. The confusing law that is completely based on discrimination to be used everywhere, even in New York. But that's not true. Mitt Romney didn't say that. What Mitt Romney said is that another part of the law, which was this e-voucher program, no, not an e-voucher program, an e-verification program, which is basically like your working papers, except it was electronical. You probably have seen one on your job applications, to be used worldwide, except that's only used in Arizona. That means that if someone in Arizona who seems like an illegal immigrant applies for a job, they can use the e-verification program to prove that they're actually legal and they are actually allowed to work. And another one, which is the scary one, was Fast and Furious. This is one of Barack Obama's biggest slip-ups. What Fast and Furious was a program that would basically sell guns to Mexican drug cartels, so that way they can track the guns. Well, what Fast and Furious went wrong was that it lost track of 1,700 guns, including assault rifles. Things like these right here. And so what Barack Obama, when he first came out for Fast and Furious, he said, Fast and Furious